In message switching, there is no direct link between the sender and the receiver. A message delivered to the destination is rerouted along any path before it reaches the destination. It was common in 1960s and 70s. In message switching, no complete connection is required. Thus, each message includes a header contain the destination address, routing information, and priority information for special cases. Now, this diagram shows the message queue, which has a low speed line local terminal as source. Source is at the left side at the bottom, and the destination is at the right side at the top. So the diagram shows the low speed line and high speed line, message queue, and message processor. In this technique, in message switching technique, there is end-to-end dedicated path which is not established prior data transmission. It is store and forward type of configuration. These nodes have availability to store a user message and forward them whenever link is available. The network moves the user information from node to node. One moment is called as the HOP. For this node has a processor and a buffer in it. In message switching, once the message is initiated, a message is transmitted as whole without break from one node to another node. In this switching technique, each message is treated as an individual entity and each message has its own address information. Node reads this address and store the copy of it and then forward it to the next node. For example, email. So here each router waits until it receives the entire message. Once it receives a complete message, it transmits the same over the next line, over the next link, and so on. All routers over the router does not same. It is used for message transmission between the two parties, not requiring the real-time information sharing. There are some advantages of this message switching. That first advantage is sharing of the data channel amongst the communication devices improves the bandwidth utilization. In the situation of congestion, the message can be stored in the message switches. For managing the traffic, priorities can be used to avoid congestion in the network. Next is broadcast addressing uses the bandwidth more efficiently as the messages are sent to multiple locations simultaneously. Incoming messages are not lost even when the outgoing routes are busy, rather they remain in queue. Therefore, when routes are available, they are sent forward. And the last advantage is it supports the message length of unlimited size. There are some disadvantages of this message switching also. First disadvantage is this switching type is not compatible for interactive applications such as voice and video. This is due to a longer message delivery time. The method is costly as store and forward devices are expensive. This is due to a large storage disk requirement to store the long message for long duration. It can lead to a security issue if hacked by the intruders. Hence, vital information such as banking account, official and personal password should not be included in the messages. As the system is complex, often people are not aware whether the messages are transferred successfully or not. As there is no direct link between the sender and receiver, it is not reliable communication. Next switching technique is circuit switching. The circuit switching creates a direct physical connection between two devices such as phone or the computer. In order to set up a direct connection over the many links, it is necessary that each link to be simultaneously free. So here is a diagram of circuit switched network. At the bottom left there is a source and at the right top there is a destination. So In circuit switching, dedicated electrical path is set up between the source and destination. These paths can be of radio links, wire satellite links, etc. This electrical path is for the entire duration of the transmission, so it may happen that for some time data is not transferred, still the connection is present. Hence, path remain idle. So, the circuit switching has the three phases of working, such as connection establishment, data transmission, and connection release. Here the propagation time depends on the two main factors. One is electrical distance between the source and destination, and second is medium of transmission. The third type of switching or the third technique is packet switching. The first packet switching system, ARPANET, was developed by the US Defense Advanced Research Project Agency in 1969. The data stream originating at the source is divided into the packets of fixed or variable size. Each packet contains a portion of the user's data plus some control information. The routing control decides how the network will handle the stream of the packet as it attempts to route them, the network and deliver them to the intended destination. The routing decision is determined in one of the ways, that is datagram and the virtual circuit. So the packet switching is basis for the internet protocol. In packet switching method, the messages are split into number of small packets, generally of fixed in size. These packets are transmitted in S and F fashion. Additionally, packets may need to be buffered locally to resolve the connections for resources. If the system runs out of buffer, packets are dropped. The messages are split at the host node and reassembled at the destination node. Each packet is transmitted individually, irrespective of other packet. Hence, packets belonging to the same message may take a several different paths to reach to the destination. Hence, they may arrive out of sequence and needs a proper sequencing at the destination. The routing of the information is gathered locally, hop by hop. That routing decisions are independent of other decisions in the past and in other routers. However, they are based on the network state and topology information that is exchanged among routers. The network does not need to keep any state to operate other than the routing table. Each packet follows a typical packet format which consists of destination host ID, source host ID, message ID, and the packet ID of the message. This gain is higher when the traffic is more bursty. The buffering needs and the statistical multiplexing are the main characteristic of the packet switching. In the internet, the network service is connectionless and best efforts, that is, it provides no delivery guarantees. Because the underlying service is best effort, there are no guarantee in terms of packet drop, maximum delay jitter, or the bandwidth. Reliability, flow control, and the connection oriented services are provided by the end-to-end mechanism. Packet switching not only made an effective use of the network bandwidth, but it also was robust and resilient to node and link failures. Packet switching can also provide quality of service guarantees if the admission of new flows to the network can be controlled. The switching supports following protocols, that is X25 frame relay ATM. Now in packet switching, packets are handled in two ways, that is datagram and the virtual circuit. In datagram, each packet within a stream is independently routed. A routing table stored in the router specifies the outgoing link for each destination. The table may be static or it may be periodically updated. In the second case, the routing depends on the router's estimate of the shortest path to the destination. Therefore, each packet must contain bits denoting the source and the destination. In datagram type, each packet is treated independently. Packets can take up any route between the source PC and the destination PC. Here the packets may arrive out of order and may even not reach the destination in some cases. Next is a virtual circuit. In virtual circuit, a fixed route is selected before any data is transmitted in a call set of phase similar to a circuit switched network. That is, in virtual circuit, pre-planned route is established before the transmission of the packet. The call request and the call accept messages are used as a handshake mechanism. In this type, each packet contains VCI, that is virtual circuit identifier, instead of destination IP address. In this type, routing decisions for each packet are not needed as it is made only once for all the packets using virtual circuit. So here packets must now contain a virtual circuit identifier. Once a virtual circuit is established, the message is transmitted in the packet. Now there are some points which compares the circuit switching and the packet switching. In circuit switching, the dedicated transmission path. In packet switching, there is no dedicated transmission path. Here the transmission of the data. Here in packet there is a transmission of packet. It operates in real mode. Packet it nearly in real mode. In circuit, message not stored. In packet, message held for the short time. In circuit switching, path established for entire message. In packet, route established for the each packet. Here the call setup delay. In packet transmission delay. In circuit, busy signal if called the party busy. No, in packet there is no busy signal. Blocking may occur, blocking cannot occur. User responsible for the message loss protection. Network may be responsible for each packet but not for entire message. There is no speed or the code conversion. Here is in packet there is a speed and code conversion, fixed bandwidth transmission, dynamic use of the bandwidth. And the last point is no overload bits after initial setup delay in circuit switching, and in packet switching overload bits in each packet. So this is all about the switching techniques. Thank you.